It's one of the rare summer days that rains. Temperature is extremely comfortable, and we're in Shaolin Temple, which is extremely famous for its martial sport.
When I was young, many young boys in my school loved to imitate the martial sport exercises when they played with each other upon the playgrounds. 9 o'clock in the morning, they walk strangely by changing the mass center of their bodies to a much lower position in order to imitate a person who has drunk too much wine, aiming to show a new move of the popular drunken feast features, which they have watched upon the silver screen. Technical terms such as 7-star boxing, the moving star exercise, the southern feast, and the northern kick, so on and so forth, are part of the everyday conversations. Before they had learned to read and write properly, the boys often recited the sophisticated lyrics, which described the essence of a feature with a rather complex language, proudly and confidently. The legends about a group of monks who lived upon Mount Song, far away from the civilization, occupied their fantasies in many years.
Inside the Shaolin Temple, there are thousands of curious tourists, most of which are Asian, who are very familiar with different martial sports movies, which are produced thousands of them each year.
From the films, I've learned that there were 8 outstanding schools of martial sport in the past. The Shaolin Monastery, which occupied the 7 sacred peaks of Mount Song, was the most beloved styles amongst young boys who were interested in the heroic stories which took place in the worrisome Song dynasty, when the military turbulence and the intensive social changes altered the development of a vast territory. However, the oldest history of Shaolin Temple could be traced back to 400 AD, when the territory was occupied by a Mongolian clan who spoke a language which was very similar to the Old Turkish. Its first Buddhist abbot, Bodhidharma, came from the Greek Buddhist Central Asia, whose most famous quote was, "The extreme principle is wordless. The sagely mind is unimpeded." From the beginning, this was an edifice of the Buddhist teaching.
There are a number of classic statues in this temple, most of which are frontal positioned.
Bronze sculpture has a long history. The oldest artifacts, the figurines, were created around 1500 before Common Era. Most sculptures in this complex were designed under a strong influence of the Hindu cultural tradition, which were liked by the pious Buddhist followers.
Many tourists are gathered here to capture the perfect Kodak moment with these beautiful so-called pagoda forests. Each pagoda in this area is a tomb for a very famous Buddhist monk who has contributed to the development of Shaolin Temple during the last 1,000 years. And I think, if I didn't remember it wrong, the most recent pagoda, which is just there somewhere, was established around 400 years ago.
The fearful Shaolin boxing were practiced in this temple complex ever since Bodhidharma's days. In this territory, he is known as the Purple Coagulation Man of the way, 1,500 years ago, the original martial style commenced to take its shape. Its features were influenced by the prominent eating methods of Lushan monks, which were venerated by the elite military officials. Its most important contents are often divided into 3 levels: the basic level, the power skill, and the combat skill. According to the legend, a practitioner can only master the fabulous 18 postures, which emphasize the balance and flexibility, even only if this person begins its training as an infant. The pious life in this monastery were repetitive and physically demanding, regardless how young a monk was when entering this temple. In accordance with the ancient time machine system, a day is divided into 12 stones, which are midnight, crowing, dawn, sunrise, breakfast, ante, noon, post, dinner, sunrise, dusk, and quieting. They get up already at the stone of sunrise, which is about 5 o'clock in the morning. The diet is strict. The alcoholic beverage and the animalic cuisine are sternly prohibited. Any sexual intercourse with either genders are prohibited.
It's a foggy day on top of this monsoon. It's still a very magnificent view over its beautiful surrounding, and the place I'm standing at this moment has a very funny name called Magic Practicing Platform, meaning if you are practice your some kind of magic doing, you could be really good at it. And at this moment I do believe it, because it does feel like this must be part of the paradise somewhere, as only the immortal could experience.
Shaolin Temple is an easy day trip from the nearby Luoyang city, which is an interesting imperial capital of the Song dynasty, or Jingzhou city. The area is well marked, hence it is not necessary to hire a guide.